The movie opens by showing the story of one Cleopatra egg that disappeared in Egypt in 1907, and only 2 eggs remain. Now, the first Cleopatra egg is displayed in the museum, while the second egg has been sold at auction and is currently kept in someone's private collection, but the third egg has never been found after the disappearance incident in 1907. And according to the story, something will happen if the 3 eggs are successfully put together. One day in the Italian city of Rome, there was a notice from someone with the nickname the Bishop, who informed that there would be the first egg theft from the museum, which would be carried out by an art thief most wanted by the police. This news was known by an agent named John Hartley and an Interpol police named Irva Dash. There, they saw that Cleopatra's egg was still there, but when John checked it with a hot blazer, he realized that the egg was a fake, so he confirmed it by pouring Coca-Cola that he asked from a boy, and as a result, the egg began to melt, so Dash immediately told the officers to lock the room. John realized that the thief was still in the same room. He was named Nolan Booth. Seeing that Nolan immediately ran away from there, John, who knew, immediately chased him. After Nolan ran away from the police, suddenly John had appeared in front of him because he passed another road. John pointed a gun while asking him to hand over the bag containing Cleopatra's real egg, but suddenly Dash came, so Nolan took this opportunity to escape. After leaving the museum, Nolan then fled using an electric bike, while John used a Lamborghini car to chase him but had not walked far. He was hit by another driver's car. 2 days later, the scene switches to Bali Island. It was seen that Nolan returned to his villa on Bali Island, but shortly after he entered the house, suddenly John was already there, followed by the arrival of Dash and Interpol police. They then immediately secured the egg and then revealed if Nolan had long been targeted by them. Finally now, Nolan was caught. But for fear that the egg would be stolen again, Dash asked to store it in a special car designed to store the egg, but when the egg safe door was closed, suddenly someone opened it again and replaced the real egg with a fake egg, after which the thief took the real egg and left the car group, and this person turned out to be a thief nicknamed the Bishop, or the #1 thief in the world. The next day in Rome, Dash came to see John do a bar there. He pointed out that the egg was fake, and accused John that he was the one who stole it. John was confused and shocked to hear it. Then Dash explained that John had received bribe money from someone on the day his eggs were stolen, as evidenced by the money that entered John's account, which was quite a lot. With that evidence, so Dash could immediately arrest John. John claimed he didn't know it and felt he was framed. He suspected that this was Nolan or Bishop, but still Dash didn't believe it, so John was arrested and sent to a Russian prison. There he happened to be in a cell with Nolan, who had entered the prison first. John wanted to find out more about the theft of Cleopatra's egg, so he asked Nolan about it, and Nolan revealed he wanted to take the egg and give it to the wedding of the daughter of a sultan in Egypt, and after giving it he would get billions of dollars, and also sultan's daughters, because it turned out that sultan's daughter was named Cleopatra. Nolan also knew that his second egg was in Valencia, so he planned to escape from this prison with John's help. He started by making a scene, by telling the other inmates that John was a policeman, thus making one of the inmates come close to John, because he didn't like policemen. John then hit him, which made the police have to intervene, and take them both back to the holding cell. After a while in the cell, they were taken by Police Bob to meet with their captain, who turned out to be the Bishop himself. Bishop then revealed that he already knew all the thefts committed by Nolan, and said that Nolan was the #2 thief in the world, while he was the #1. Then Bishop confessed that he was the one who deposited the money into John's account, so that Dash could find out and accuse John of being the culprit. Apparently, Bishop deliberately framed John to go to prison so that he would not trouble him. Bishop then revealed that he intended to steal the second egg and the third egg, where the second egg he already knew, while the third egg only Nolan knew, so he offered a deal to release Nolan and give him 10% of the profits if Nolan would show him where the third egg was located. However, Nolan clearly refused, but Bishop did not mind. Then he left, and intended to steal the second egg first. Sometime later, while John and Nolan were repairing the hole in the wall, John invited Nolan to work together to catch the Bishop, while he would help Nolan to steal the second egg. Unexpectedly, Nolan agreed to the offer. The next day they began their plan to get out of this prison. The plan began with making a mess, beating up the police, then going to the locked exit door, which could only be opened with an identity card. Fortunately, Nolan managed to steal an identity card belonging to one of the policemen. When they managed to get out and stand on the wall, Nolan turned out to have put a small stone to destroy the large stones they had tidied up before. Nolan also managed to escape and start the helicopter, while John was still holding the police who saw them escape. However, when he saw the helicopter was about to fly, John tried to ignore the police and rushed into the helicopter, and finally they managed to escape from the prison. On the other hand, in the city of London, it was seen that Bishop had sneaked into the Interpol staff room and found out that John and Nolan had managed to escape, so he deliberately told Dash about it, as well as informing him about the party to be held by the owner of the second egg, which was in Valencia. On the other hand, with the help of Nolan's best friend, John and Nolan also boarded a private plane to quickly get to Valencia. On the way, they planned to be able to enter the hidden room where the second egg was stored. After arriving at the villa of the owner of the second egg, they got ready to carry out the action, but suddenly they met the bishop. The John approached him and invited him to dance, with the aim that he could watch him constantly, but their dance made the owner of the egg named Sato jealous, so he stopped it. Then Sato gave a welcome to the guests present there. At the same time, John and Nolan sneaked into the secret room after passing through the various security there. However, what they don't realize is that their actions have been seen through CCTV cameras, so the inspectors immediately tell the guards to tell this to Sato. Elsewhere, Dash suddenly appears and points his gun at John. Here John tries to explain that he is innocent, but Dash asks John to prove it by arresting Nolan. When John was about to arrest Nolan, he began to think and finally preferred to continue working with Nolan. He managed to trick Dash by making the sound of handcuffs locked as if Nolan was indeed handcuffed. When Dash was caught off guard, John immediately threw the gun held by Dash, and they immediately entered the secret room. They found the egg there, but they lost quickly because Bishop was already inside first. Bishop once again made an offer to them, but they refused because John also wanted to catch Bishop. Hearing that, Bishop also responded and challenged them to a fight. The fight between Deadpool and Black Adam against Wonder Woman was inevitable. However, in the end, Wonder Woman won the fight. Then shortly thereafter came the Sato, who immediately arrested them both, but not the Bishop. Because it turned out that the two of them had worked together, John and Nolan were then separated, and the next morning they were sent to the dungeon, which was right under the Roman Colosseum. The Bishop asked Nolan where is the location of the third egg, but Nolan refused to answer, so that made the Bishop torture John by electrocuting him. Out of pity, Nolan revealed that the third egg was in the Egyptian pyramids, precisely in Cleopatra's secret tomb. After knowing the location, Bishop and Sato celebrated by drinking, but what Sato didn't realize was that his drink had been given sleeping pills that made him pass out. Bishop arrogantly took the second egg and claimed he couldn't wait to take the third egg. Shortly afterward, Sato woke up and blamed John and Nolan for making Bishop run away from Sato and shooting at them. However, because the effects of the drug were still felt, he did not hit them and instead shot John's handcuffs, so he was free and immediately hit Sato. Initially, John wanted to leave Nolan because Nolan had told the location of the third egg to the Bishop, but Nolan revealed that what he was talking about was a lie and said that the third egg was not in Egypt. Then he asked John to release him. As the two of them run away, Sato wakes up and chases them. John and Nolan keep running and unknowingly they enter the Colosseum field. Then suddenly the bull appears and is ready to attack them. Realizing the threat, they both immediately run away. Sato, who came out to shoot them, was dropped back by the bull. Finally, John and Nolan managed to escape, then traveled by train. Where Nolan reveals where the location of his third egg is, he begins to tell the story that his father used to be a treasure hunter during the Second World War. Nolan used to find a very antique watch in his father's office, and he felt that his father loved his watch more than him. Nolan, who was upset, then destroyed the watch. But he soon realized from the fragments of the watch he found the secret of where the location of his third egg was, which turned out to be located in Hitler's former bunker, which is located in Argentina. Without thinking, the two of them set off to that location, but after arriving at the location point, John began to ask where it was, because all they saw was an empty forest. However, while they were arguing, they suddenly heard the sound of iron under their feet. They then checked it and John finally found the bunker. They immediately entered into it. They continued down the road and arrived in front of a door that was locked by an object. Nolan, who saw, immediately realized that the lock was very similar to his father's watch, so he tried to use his father's watch to open the door, and it worked. They then entered the room and saw many valuable antiques. There they also found an old car from World War II that was still usable. After advancing a few steps, they finally found the third egg, but soon the bishop was suddenly there. He revealed he had realized from the beginning that he was lied to, so he deliberately waited for John and Nolan to escape from prison so he could follow them. When they were about to give the eggs to the bishop, suddenly the Dash group came and there was a shootout between them. Bishop finally made a truce with John and Nolan, and the three of them escaped using the car through the underground tunnel until they reached the end of the road that led to the waterfall. Because there was no other choice, they finally plunged into the water. Shortly thereafter, the three of them managed to climb safely. Here something was revealed. If it turned out that John and Bishop had been working together all this time. John then began to explain that his first egg he deliberately gave to Bishop when they were in Bali, then his second egg was taken from the Sato, and his third egg was taken from Nolan who had led them. It turns out that when they were held captive by Sato, Bishop secretly gave John the key to the handcuffs so that John could be free. After revealing everything and being betrayed, Nolan was then handcuffed to a tree and the two of them escaped. The scene switches to Cairo, Egypt. A sultan's castle party is seen taking place at the sultan's residence. The sultan presents his daughter with the 3 Cleopatra eggs, while witnessed by John and Bishop who are there. Suddenly, Ed Sheeran appears who shocks the sultan's daughter. Then suddenly again appears the Interpol police who arrest the sultan and his daughter. It turns out that Bishop and John secretly reported the sultan to the international police and betrayed him after they got paid from the egg. 6 months later, after the incident, John and Bishop were seen enjoying their time together on the ship, and shortly after that came Nolan who was already on the deck of the ship, but it seems that Bishop and John were not surprised to see him. Then Nolan revealed that earlier when he was handcuffed to a tree, Dash found them and arrested him, but while on the way to prison Nolan uncuffed him and escaped from the car. He also already knew that John and Bishop betrayed the Sultan, so he told Dash about the money, so Dash blocked all access to John and Bishop's money to 0%, but of all things Nolan revealed that he had no grudge with them, because after all the three of them had lost together, and because of that he wanted to invite them to partner and rob together. John initially refuses, but Bishop starts to think and realizes that this is not bad, so they agree to join Nolan, and they escape together while behind them the Dash group ambushes the ship of the 3 thieves, but there is no one there. The film ends with the 3 of them now being international fugitives, while the 3 of them themselves are already in France to steal something more valuable there, and the movie ends. So, what do you think about this movie? Did this movie impress you? Well, maybe you can write it in the comment section. If you like this video, don't forget to like it, and don't forget to subscribe for more videos.